Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. So the Super Crooks is an anime based upon a comic book by Mark Millar and Francis Yu. And Mark Millar is very popular in the whole comic book world. And so the last adaptation of his comic was actually Jupiter's Legacy, which Super Crooks is actually in that same universe. And so the general story here is that we have this guy named Johnny Bolt. And he actually has powers, specifically electric powers, hence the last name Bolt. But in this mix, we also have another person named Casey. She also has special abilities, and then they meet many other people with special powers, and it just happened to all be villains. And within this mix, we actually have the characters from the Jupiter's Legacy, specifically the Union of Justice and all the superheroes. So there's the villains versus the superheroes, but the whole series really isn't about that. It's really more of a heist type movie and mainly about the villains and kind of like their overall story. And so that is like the general overall bigger story of this season. And so getting to the things that I did enjoy about this anime series is the animation. The animation, I would say, is really great throughout. It's very energetic, it's clean, it's colorful, and it's really a visually appealing anime overall, and it's very consistent throughout the 13 episode. And so if you enjoy quality anime, then this actually has it. And then second to that is, whenever the action comes, the action looks really good in this case, so it's very impactful, it looks great. And at the same time, the action does help to move the story forward whenever there is action involved. And then the final thing that this anime does well is, instead of taking the traditional approach of focusing on the superheroes, this one takes more of an approach towards the villains, and having this whole heist story does make a difference versus it being a simple origin story or superheroes versus villains. And so those are like the main things that I did enjoy about the series. For serious YouTubers, check out TubeBuddy, the premier tool news at GeekOutdoors.com. Get more done today by checking out the affiliate link in the description area below. Now, getting to the things that I did not like about this series, even though I did like this different approach of looking at the villains and the heists, whenever you're watching this series, the heists themselves really aren't that interesting, to be honest with you. I kind of thought they were building up to this, building a team, and we're going to have a really cool heist, but it didn't really pan out that way. And the vast majority of the heists seem very, I would say, simple and unbelievable at times, even though this is an anime. And so that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, the most of the story here, it's really focused on Johnny Bolt and Casey. And so it's really about their relationship. And all the other characters, they're honestly not that important. You know, even though there's like 8 different villain characters in this, they just didn't really play a big role, and I didn't feel attached to those characters at all. And even though I did like Johnny Bolt and Casey, I don't think their story itself really carries the entire series well. And then finally, the villains. Man, they were so weak in this show. Just an example, just one superhero, and I think his name's the Praetorian. He could pretty much take out the entire villain team by himself. And you see this quite often where the superheroes are just so much more powerful than the villains. And a lot of times it's disappointing because, you know, I would like to see the powerful villains. These are supposedly super villains. They're supposed to be able to hold their own or even beat some of the superheroes. And in that case, I really didn't get that. And so those are my overall thoughts on Super Crooks. Even though the overall animation and the story is different, I would say there's definitely some missed opportunities to go more into the whole villain world and to make the heists, I would say, more grander than they actually have here. So if you actually had any thoughts on this or any other Mark Millar works that you've enjoyed, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And if you did enjoy my anime reviews, I do have an entire playlist. I'll leave that in the description area as well. So as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to share, like, and subscribe. And if you're a creative geek like me, and you want to get exclusive access to more content that I don't put out here publicly on my YouTube channel, then join my Gold Content Creators group, where you're going to get content like this and more for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Gold Content Creators group.